The Skinstructors tip of the week. The best melasma results happen when skincare is boring. Consistency beats intensity every time. Instead of chasing the newest brightener or peel, focus on daily sun protection, gentle actives, and barrier support. Stick to the plan, trust the process, and remember, progress looks subtle before it looks obvious.
Welcome back to the Skinstructors. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jolie. In part one, we broke down what melasma is, what causes it, and why it affects people on such a deep level.
And now in part two, we're going to share the melasma treatment blueprint. What to do at home, what to do in the treatment room, and how to set realistic expectations that keep clients empowered. So let's get started by breaking down the at-home part for your client.
Trust is the first treatment step. If clients feel judged or dismissed, they won't stick with the plan. But when we build rapport, we give them something they can't get off of a shelf: hope. For estheticians newer to the field, this is your superpower. Acknowledge the struggle, build a partnership. Melasma isn't curable, but together it is manageable.
And for clients listening, you are not your pigment. Melasma may be part of your skin journey, but it doesn't define your worth, your beauty, or your progress.
So now that we understand how melasma behaves in the skin and how deeply it affects people emotionally, let's talk about the most important question clients ask. What can I do about it?
First, let's be honest, there's no cure for melasma, but that doesn't mean it can't be managed and often dramatically improved with the right strategy.
That strategy, it's never one product or one peel. It's multi-layered and ongoing, targeting the root causes we covered earlier: pigment overproduction, inflammation, hormonal triggers, and barrier damage.
Step one is to use a sunscreen. This isn't optional, it's the foundation of melasma management. Use a broad spectrum SPF of 30 plus with physical filters like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. For extra defense, recommend SPF with iron oxides, which protect against visible light like blue light from screens or daylight through windows. Reapplication is key here. So every 2 hours if outside and after sweating or toweling. And lastly, encourage protective clothing, wide-brimmed hats, and seeking shade when possible.
Clients need to know without consistent sun protection, even the best products and treatments won't work. Sunlight doesn't just worsen melasma, it reactivates it. Moving on to step two, topical tyrosinase inhibitors. These ingredients are the backbone of melasma treatment. They block or slow down melanin production at a cellular level. Effective options include kojic acid, arbutin, azelaic acid, licorice root extract, tranexamic acid, and you can do that orally, topically, or microneedled. And niacinamide. This is a bonus because it also strengthens the barrier and reduces redness.
And let's address the elephant in the room, hydroquinone. It's effective, but should only be used under guidance. Never long term, so limit it around 8 to 12 weeks. And then it has to be cycled off and have periods to avoid that rebound pigmentation or ochronosis.
Yeah, this is where estheticians play a huge role. Know your scope. Refer to a physician if a client is a candidate for hydroquinone or oral tranexamic acid.
Step three is going to be cellular turnover support. So controlled exfoliation is helpful, but only when the skin is stable. So think retinoids or retinols, which are going to speed up skin cell turnover, reduce pigment retention, and support deeper penetration of brighteners. And gentle acids are really helpful. So lactic, mandelic, or glycolic acid at a low percentage to gradually resurface the skin. We don't have to avoid glycolic acid. Glycolic's fantastic for pigmentation. I just wouldn't be doing a high percentage of glycolic because it can sometimes produce a little heat in the skin.
Avoid aggressive or frequent exfoliation. In melasma-prone skin, too much exfoliation equals inflammation, which equals pigment flare-up. Step 4 is the use of antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. Melasma is highly inflammatory, so calm the storm with vitamin C. This is going to help brighten and fight off oxidative stress. Resveratrol, green tea, and glutathione. And then niacinamide, again, yes, it deserves a double mention.
These not only help fade pigment, but they protect the skin from future triggers like UV, pollution, and even heat exposure.
Step 5 is barrier support and moisturization. We can't treat compromised skin. Make sure your clients are using ceramide rich moisturizers, SPF that doesn't sting or irritate them, and hydrating serums with hyaluronic acid or panthenol.
Melasma prone skin needs to be calm, hydrated, and resilient. Irritated skin only worsens that pigment even if your client is using the right actives.
Step 6 is looking at lifestyle considerations. Clients often ask why melasma came back after it improved. The answer might be in the routine or environment. Hormonal changes like pregnancy, IUDs, starting birth control could all be factors. Heat exposure, so think hot yoga, saunas, cooking. Stress and lack of sleep, that increases that oxidative stress. And inconsistent sun protection could all be variables.
So, tracking those flare ups in a skin journal can be really helpful. You may start to see patterns, and that allows clients and you to pivot more proactively.
All right, so let's put this all together. Here's your layered approach to melasma. Photoprotection, always. Second is brightening actives consistently. Third is turnover support slowly. Fourth is antioxidants and anti-inflammatories daily. 5 is barrier repair products, always on deck. And 6 is lifestyle awareness and education.
It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And with consistency, you can see real improvement even if you never cure melasma. By the time someone with melasma walks into your treatment room, there's a good chance they've tried everything: DIY Pinterest masks, TikTok lemon juice hacks, over-the-counter brighteners.
Oh, absolutely. And they're usually frustrated and burnout because nothing sticks. That's where we step in, not just with treatments, but with strategy and support.
100%. And the golden rule for estheticians working with melasma: low and slow, calm, not provoke. Melasma is reactive. Too much of anything can backfire and actually make it worse.
So let's talk about what's safe and effective in the treatment room. First up, barrier repairing facials.
Always start by supporting the skin. Use calming ingredients like oat extract, ceramides, calendula, and panthenol. Think of this as building the foundation before we layer in actives.
And if you want light exfoliation, go for enzyme therapy. Fruit enzymes like papaya, pumpkin, or pomegranate gently digest dead skin cells without triggering inflammation.
Absolutely. There are some spicy enzymes out there, so just
Definitely.
keep an eye out on that. If you're noticing your client's skin turning pink, red, it is just not the right enzyme for them. And that's okay. Another favorite of mine, LED therapy, especially yellow light. It reduces inflammation and can really soothe melasma-prone skin. Red light is also great for healing and supporting fibroblasts in a positive way.
I love pairing LED with barrier facials in the first few visits. Once the skin is stable, then you can consider gentle peels like lactic, mandelic, or even phytic acid.
Key word, gentle. And only after prepping the skin for a few weeks. With brightening agents and SPF, I also like to add in tyrosinase inhibitors there.
Yeah.
I usually wait at least 2 to 4 weeks before introducing acids, even mild ones.
And for advanced estheticians, microneedling can be an option, but keep the depth conservative, 0.25 to 0.5 millimeters max. And always use calming, pigment-safe serums like tranexamic acid or licorice root.
Absolutely. And only microneedle if the skin is calm and the client is compliant with their home care. Otherwise, if they're flaring, just pause. It's not worth the risk. We have The Zeo Accelerated Brightening Serum that we absolutely
Hmm.
are obsessed with. Our nurses use that as a glide during microneedling. It really helps to calm that inflammation and fight the pigment at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, now let's flip it. What to avoid. First up, heat based treatments.
Yes, so this includes IPL or BBL, certain lasers, high frequency, and even steam if it's overused. Heat is going to stimulate that melanogenesis, and for someone with melasma, that can trigger a major flare up.
I also avoid medium or deep chemical peels, especially anything with TCA or strong glycolic. They're just too risky and can easily lead to post inflammatory hyperpigmentation.
I totally agree. And don't fall into the more is better trap. Clients often ask for multiple actives layered in one facial. Just resist the urge. Too many steps can add too much stress on the skin.
Instead, keep your protocols focused. It's better to build a simple, consistent routine that the client can tolerate and sustain.
And this is where communication is everything. Set the tone early. I usually say something like, okay, we're not going to try to erase the pigment overnight. We're trying to calm the skin and prevent future flare ups.
Yeah, and I like to remind them melasma is chronic. Our goal is improvement and stability, but not perfection.
And for newer estheticians listening, know your scope. Don't be
Mhm.
afraid to refer to a dermatologist for things like hydroquinone, prescription strength retinoids, or oral tranexamic acid.
And when clients are already on a medical protocol, don't pile on. If they're using retinoids or hydroquinone at home, your job is to support the skin, not compete with it.
And that might mean backing off in the treatment room and focusing on hydration, soothing, and LED.
And always track progress. Use before and after photos, ask about flare up triggers, and update product logs. That data helps you fine tune their plan.
Bottom line, treat melasma like a relationship. You're building trust with the skin and with your client. So go slow, stay consistent, and always come from a place of care. Okay, so you've done your thorough consultation, selected the right products, built a safe treatment plan, but now comes one of the hardest parts for you and your client.
Yep, setting expectations. Because melasma is not a treat it and forget it condition. It's chronic, it's cyclic, and it requires a long game mindset.
I always say we're not treating a symptom, we're managing a pattern. Melasma has flare up cycles, so clients will get excited when it fades and then they panic when it returns.
Mhm.
And that's why education is everything.
I like to use comparisons they already understand. I'll say, think of melasma like acne or rosacea. It's a skin condition we learn to manage over time. You'll have calm periods and triggers that bring it back. That doesn't mean what we're doing isn't working.
That language matters, Jolie. It helps clients stop chasing quick fixes or jumping from product to product. Instead, we want to teach them how to track their patterns and stick to a routine that prevents flare ups before they start.
And part of that is lifestyle awareness. Triggers aren't always obvious. I've had clients flare up after hot yoga, traveling to a sunny location, stressful weeks at work, hormonal IUD changes, and even switching their SPF without realizing it lost the iron oxide coverage.
Exactly. That's why I recommend clients journaling their skin for at least 2 to 4 weeks. Then we can start working together. They write down stress levels, food, sun exposure, hormonal shifts, new products, sleep. Then we're going to review it together and find some trends.
And from a professional standpoint, that's gold. You're now working with data, not just emotions. It creates collaboration instead of disappointment.
Here's what I tell my clients. We'll likely see improvements in 6 to 8 weeks with the right routine and sun protection, but maintaining results is ongoing. Think of it like physical therapy. The pain goes away, but you still stretch daily to prevent it from coming back.
Yeah, I love that. I like to add something like even when the skin looks clear, the underlying pigmentation is often still there, waiting for a trigger. So we keep doing what worked even when things look good. That's the secret to staying ahead of the melasma.
Clients often ask, what should I focus on at home? And I give them 3 things. Number one, never skip sunscreen. Number two, Stick to your brightening routine, even when pigment fades. And lastly, let me know if anything changes, like hormones, travel, or product reactions.
I also encourage maintenance facials every 4 to 6 weeks once the skin is stable. These don't have to be aggressive, just enough to check in, exfoliate gently, and reinforce that barrier support.
And if a client says nothing's working, don't get defensive. Try, I hear you. This condition can be really frustrating, but your skin is actually responding. Let's revisit your photos and journal together to track some subtle changes. We'll keep adjusting together.
Yes, and sometimes you need to re educate mid treatment. I'll say melasma isn't about racing to the finish, it's about managing flare ups and avoiding regression. You're still making progress. All right, fellow STs, here's your homework for the week. Review your intake forms. Do you screen for hormonal birth control, melasma history, and heat or light triggers? Add these into your client consultation checklist.
And if you're a client listening who struggles with melasma, download a sun exposure tracker or journal your triggers for 2 weeks. Notice patterns and share them with your esthetician or dermatologist.
So that wraps up our melasma deep dive. Remember, results take time, but knowledge and compassion go a long way. If you've seen success or struggles with melasma, share your story with us.
DM us on Instagram at STTraining. We love hearing from you.
And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't hesitate to educate.